What am I doing on the screen?
Stapler. Excuse me.
As I started, I was like, wait a minute, I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, I grabbed the closest thing next to me and we went with stapler.
I'm gonna have to bring home all my masks or something.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, I forgot to grab something. That's what happens, man. Whenever I walk out of the studio, I clean up and then I'm like, okay. And I'm like, wait a minute, why did I take everything out? I should have left everything in, knowing I'm going to be here an hour after the show. So welcome everybody to Zia Comics Weekly, as we are getting ready to nerd out for the next half hour, talk all things nerd, from comic books to your favorite scary movie to who knows. We'll find something far few in between, everything that we can cover. Of course, you guys can jump in on the conversation, leave comments, let us know something we need to talk about. Troy, what is going on with you, my friend?
Oh, New York Comic Con was this past weekend, and they had issues.
What? Okay.
Issues.
What happened, man? Because I kept seeing, thanks to TikTok, there was a lot of complaints.
Well, a cosplayer actually died inside the event.
Man.
The guy had a seizure or something and fell, and he ended up dying, I believe, from a heart attack.
Jeez, man.
Then somebody supposedly died outside. They slipped and fell and hit their head. Some people stole the security guards' vests and used those vests to go through Artist Alley and just steal a ton of artwork. And then they caught some security guards selling fake tickets to get in. It was a mess.
That's the one I heard about, was the security guard thing. I didn't realize how much more they were dealing with. I mean,
yeah,
not a really good headline for New York Comic Con.
Yeah, and I guess the city or the state still has a mask mandate, so they were telling everybody you have to wear your mask inside the Javits Center. And looking at pictures and video, they said it looks like only about 50% of the people did, and a lot of those were the people running the event. So New York is a little upset with Reed Pop right now, who is the company that owns New York Comic Con. So we might hear a little more about this later on.
Yeah, no, like I said, TikTok does a really good job of keeping me informed. And like I said, I came across the security guards. And then, I mean, you're always going to get, and for some reason, as of late, you got this trend of, people thinking that, oh, if I show up with a ladder and they're going to let me in because they think I work the event. And I mean, there's only so many ladders that are going to come into New York Comic Con after. I was like, okay, what is really going on here?
Yeah, normally they don't have much of a problem, but this year it seems like they had multiple issues. It was crazy.
And then and that's not good either, to hear, somebody passing at the event.
Yeah.
And, I mean, somebody getting hurt at an event, that's never anything that you want to have to hear about. And man.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's
the downside of having people at an event.
Yeah, no, but I'm wondering, like, what precautions now get put in place for other Comic Cons, because there are going to be, you'll run the cycle again, from San Diego to Chicago to even, Comic Cons around time. I mean, what are some of the things that maybe people weren't thinking about that now they got to start thinking, oh man, we might need to have this in place because security might be trying to sell, some fake tickets to get into our event.
I mean, yeah, what do you do when your hired security is the one that's messing around? That's
right. Like, no, I saw that and I'm just kind of like, man, really, security? Like, not only that, I'm sure that's going to eventually cost you your job. I mean, I mean, for what you're trying to do, but now you're just,
and the reputation of that company.
Yeah. So, I didn't really hear a whole lot as far as positives when it came to New York Comic Con. So, I mean, some of the pictures look great, but then, with the other headlines that were coming out.
Yeah, I mean, New York Comic Con is one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Javits Center is massive. It'll take you pretty much all day. If you just walk down the aisles without stopping, it'll take you most of the day just to see everything once.
So break this down for me. So what are the big ones? I know Chicago's a pretty big deal. I mean, and everyone knows about San Diego. San
Yeah.
Diego's obviously the main one, but what other ones are the standout ones for the year?
Yeah, well, San Diego and New York are usually, they're competing on biggest. They goes back and forth. If you're talking stateside, there's one in Japan that gets like 500,000 people. It's crazy. But
You been to that one?
oh no. That's way too many people.
Yeah.
But I have been in New York. New York is good. San Diego is good. Emerald City is usually one of the bigger ones up in Seattle. Denver Fan Expo is pretty big. Been to that one. And then other than that, it drops down. I think Phoenix Comic Con is kind of big.
Mhm.
MegaCon in Florida. There's a couple in Florida that are a good size. I mean, there's a handful of them that their numbers fluctuate so much from year to year that the top 15 or they're just trading places in the top 15.
Man, I was actually thinking about you the other day, as far as the El Paso Comic Con that we had this past year, and a list came out of celebrities that do not like to be approached for autographs. That you cannot just approach them out of nowhere because they will send you away. And
Yeah,
William Shatner made the list he was at the top of the list.
he is a he's set in his ways. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
He's done this. I mean, he's been on the circuit for what 20 plus years.
Yeah, man.
He's got it down, and he knows that he's going to make money selling his autograph in the event. And a lot of times it's not their fault. If you catch them at a con, outside of a con, it's in their contract that they can't do signings and events outside of the con because that's losing money. So sometimes it's in their contract. If you're just catching them on the street though, and they don't sign for you,
Yeah.
it's just how they are.
Yeah.
Some of them like their privacy.
Yeah, him, I believe Emma Watson made the list. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but yeah, he was number one of the people that you just can't catch off guard, like just can't walk up on him and say, "I need an autograph," which actually leads me to today's question. Have you ever like seen a celebrity and kind of like approach them for an autograph? Like, I mean, you're not at a con, you're happen to be at the same, like, you're walking through the streets of San Diego and there's, a celebrity. I mean, you've told us these stories of running into somebody at a urinal. So, I mean,
Yeah. I usually I don't ask them for autographs if I see them in public. I've seen quite a few here and there because you go to these events, they stay at the hotels too. They have to come out and
yeah.
get something to eat, get something to drink, whatever. Like I had breakfast across from Will Wheaton one morning, and I'm a huge Star Trek Next Generation fan. So I'm elbowing my wife saying, dude, it's Will Wheaton's right there. I mean, I can reach out and touch him. He's having his bagel.
Yeah.
And just right before he left, I just kind of leaned over and said, "Hey man, I love your work. Thanks for doing what you do." He's like, "Oh, thank you, man." And then boom, gone.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of where I'm at because I really thought about this because I mean, as much if my favorite celebrity was to, walk down the street, I mean, I'm not gonna, jump the curb with my vehicle and jump out and chase them down for an autograph and a photo. But I mean, we forget they're people too, man. So it's like I don't think I'll ever have that situation. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I may come across J-Lo one day and you'll hear about me in the headlines, but until then, I can't I can't see myself really, doing that because it's like, man, they're on their personal time, man. They're either with their families or, like you said, like Will Wheaton having his daily bagel and having breakfast before he has to go out into the madness that whatever he has of his day.
Yeah, I've seen a few like that, and I usually kind of leave them alone. I try to throw that phrase in right before they leave. Thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah.
Just so they know that I recognize you. And I was cool about it. I didn't bother you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to steal that from you because there's been a couple of times where being in Phoenix, running into some Phoenix Suns, and you want to like,
Yeah.
you don't want to like really disrupt them, but you just want to, hey, I'm gonna steal that. Thanks doing what you do, and then
Yeah.
keep moving. So look at that. Troy teaching us how to interact with celebrities and not ending up in the headlines. Like some of these other folks that love to chase down, Taylor Swift definitely has a following of people jumping over, her walls and trying to get into her home. That's a little too much as far as being a fan.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody says, yeah, it's because they're living their life in the limelight, but they want a little time to do stuff they enjoy as well without being mobbed.
Yeah. You don't want to mess with the man. Although I do like, especially when you think about like artists, like people that may not be I'm gonna see them on the walkway, they're gonna be, in mod. I mean, but when you get like those artists, the behind the scenes, those are some of the dudes that I get excited to see. Cause when you see it, like, oh man, they're the ones that put together, they were, the director for this. Those are the cool people that you see. And then like, wait, you know who I am? And yeah, no, I can, like, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that happens a lot at San Diego because the comic book artists and the writers, most people don't know them by face because they're not actors.
Yeah.
But me being in business, I recognize them right away. And I was walking to the Cheesecake Factory in San Diego to get lunch during Comic Con, and Scott Snyder, who is he was one of the biggest Batman people, about 15 years ago or so. He's still a great writer. He's still doing a lot of stuff, but he was at the height at that time. He's just standing in front of the hotel with his backpack on. So I grabbed my wife. I was like, come here, come here. So I walked on. I was like, hey, can I get a picture with you? He's like, well, why do you want a picture with me? I said, because you're Scott frickin' Snyder. He's like, yeah. He's like, that's a good enough reason. Come here.
It's like, that's pretty good. So no, I mean, like even at Comic-Con here, when you had the voice of Cell, like, I'm like, dude, that's my freaking childhood, man. Like, I mean, you're right here. Like, do you not know you're the voice of one of the biggest villains in the, like, it's crazy. So I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm sure they love it too, because they're just like it. I mean, we're not seeing their faces, we're seeing your voice. If that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah. It's, well, the voice actors, a lot of those aren't recognized by sight either. So
Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy, man. Craziness when it comes to our favorite celebrities. So
yeah, and how you react with them.
oh man. You ready to break down some Halloween movies for us?
Sure.
So
What
I
you
got
got?
something for you. All right. So let's start with scariest movie of all time. They recently released a list, and they're putting The Exorcist at the top of that list as far as scariest movie of all time.
I definitely think it should be in the top 5.
Yeah.
As the most scary, I don't know. It depends on what scares you. Are you more of a psychological scary type person, or do you like the jump scares?
No, man, actually that just seems too real to me, man. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, no, I'm good. One thing about me, I am not a big scary movie fan.
I don't watch a lot of them myself.
I can't sleep at night. I'm that person that is like, because I know my wife is gonna want to watch the new Halloween movie. And
Yeah,
I told her,
Halloween.
like, if it's on Peacock, we can watch it. If it's during the day, we can watch it. I'm not watching that damn movie at night.
Oh man, I was when I was growing up. One of the Friday 13th came out on a Friday 13th, and they had a midnight showing at the place I were back in Indiana. And I walked out of that theater. It was probably 2 in the morning after the movie was over. I was scared of every shadow walking back to the car.
Oh man, that was me with Paranormal Activity. Because
Oh,
then all of a sudden I'm just like, okay, did that cup move on its own? I really think the people that I was living with at the time were just messing with me, but like, no, you really start, it messes with you, man, because you're like, okay, I know it's a movie, but is this like gonna really happen? Like, someone gonna drag me by my legs out of my room? Like,
yeah. The I think the appeal on those scary movies is people get to be scared and they're have that adrenaline jump in a safe
mhm.
environment at their house.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Blair Witch Project, which by the way, Blair Witch Project makes the top 5 of this list. Blair Witch Project, you also have like I mentioned, Paranormal Activity, as well as Saw 2. I've never even seen any of the Saw movies, so they're saying Saw
I
3.
saw the first one and that was enough.
Yeah, that was the gory part of it. I'm like, nah, I'm good. But they said Saw 2 was on this list as well. And then of course you got your, original Halloween movie, and as well as some of the other classics when it comes to scary movies.
Well, when Blair Witch came out, I lived just a few miles away from where that was supposedly happening there in Burkittsville, Maryland.
And now we know why you moved to Las Cruces.
Yeah, Burkittsville doesn't look anything like that. That's not the actual town I guess they filmed in, where they're telling you it has all these woods and everything. No,
No.
it's mostly farmland.
Well, no, it looked real. Like it just seemed like it's like, man, like
yeah, the found footage idea. It was a great idea, and then the second one was kind of lackluster.
Yeah, I think even they're like, I don't think we should have ever put out a second one. That was probably not a good idea. But scary movie of all time, what would you say is one of the top scariest movies of all time? If you had to, I guess break down even movies that you've seen, what would you say is the scariest?
That's a tough one. I haven't really thought about it. The Friday the 13th scared the crap out of me. Especially that first one, this is back in the old VCR days. So we were watching it on VHS. And when he hit the end, this is not going to be a spoiler. It's been out for years.
I know, right? If you're sad about this spoiler, like, I'm sorry.
When he jumps up out of the lake and pulls her out of the canoe.
Yeah, no, that's a no for me. That's one of those movies that leaves you traumatized. So yeah, for me, I think it would have to be Candyman. So I think
Candyman was the whole bees with all the bees everywhere.
Yes, no, I can't.
That was but for scariest, there's a Cujo.
Cujo?
Yeah, that if you watched the movie?
Yes,
I was a younger kid when I watched it. It made me so scared of Saint Bernards. I couldn't be around a Saint Bernard and see one just flip out.
That's why I own Chihuahuas.
At least the Chihuahuas are the devil. Those are little demon dogs.
Hey, but at least I know that if something happened, I can win in that fight.
I don't know. Chihuahuas are mean. I put them just right up there with cats on their evil level.
And they roll in packs too. So if you got more than one, then you're being outnumbered at that point.
They're like little raptors. They're going to.
Man, see, that's exactly it. Like I said, Candyman, I think, is one for me. Candyman is one of those movies that, like you said, the VHS days. And I didn't know. I mean, I was a kid at the time, and I'm like, what's this about? Candy. Okay, cool. Nope. Wasn't about candy. So, and ever since then, and then even when Jordan Peele remade it, I couldn't watch it.
Just don't look in the mirror and say his name.
No, I'm good. Even when we were like, oh, would you go see the new one? Nope.
Did Grinch Night make it on that list? Because they made a Halloween movie with the Grinch, a Halloween cartoon.
No, but I did read about that. I didn't know that such movies, the Grinch Night, exist. I guess Grinch is going to go around and kill people now.
Yeah. No, he's trying to ruin Halloween too. But
oh my god,
yeah, that's one a lot of people don't know about Grinch Night. We used to watch it every year. You had it's Great Charlie Brown. You had the Grinch Night. This was back in the day, and there was a couple others that every Halloween you knew they were going to be playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Grinch Night.
I guess not. I've never heard of Grinch Night. I got to ask my expert, Jackie. Yeah. Jackie knows all about the Halloween movies.
Yeah, ask her about that one. And then you got the classic. You got to watch Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, that one is that one, of course. That's a classic right there. But Grinch Night, though,
that's Halloween or Christmas. Yeah, write it down. Grinch Night. You can probably find it on YouTube.
Or you'd be surprised. I got a friend out there that will find me these old movies. They'll be like, "Oh, bro, you need to watch this one."
I got one of those too, and I used to have every year I'd make the employees watch the Star Wars holiday special, and it is just horrible. If you've ever watched it, it's the first 20 minutes is nothing but Wookiee grunts. So
You may have just given us an idea for the company Christmas party. So I'm taking that to Lindsay.
Heck yeah, it's that if you watch the holiday, they played it once on TV and then they buried it. And George Lucas said if he had a time machine, he would go back with a hammer and destroy every copy of that ever existed.
Oh, and you have people watch it for for entertainment.
I got it right here on my thumb drive. And I used to play it in the store every year, and then I actually got complaints about it. Yeah.
Like, please turn that crap off. What the heck is this? Yeah. George Lucas agrees.
Yeah, I mean, it starred B. Arthur and Harvey Keitel.
Oh my gosh. No, it did not.
Yes, it did. Very much. In fact, B. Arthur's character, Akmina, is the first verified LGBTQ character in Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they just revealed that a couple years ago. I don't know why or where that came from, but they did.
No,
look at that. I mean, from the holiday special
that nobody really has ever seen before.
Yeah. Hey, if you need Star Wars obscure trivia, call me. I'll be your lifeline.
He's got. Well, I know that the next time I catch myself in the cash cab in New York, and they say, I was like, hold on, I need to call Troy. He's got the answer.
Next time, you've been in there once already?
No, my first time that I go. That is one of my places that I do want to go is to New York, and I'm hoping with my luck I end up on that show, the Cash Cab, to win some money.
You haven't been to New York City yet?
Never been to New York. Only place I've been on the East Coast is DC.
You need to, through Adams Radio Group, you can get media tickets to New York Comic Con and make it a work vacation.
We'll discuss that off the air.
The more you know.
I think somebody's going to be taking a lot of vacation in 2023.
Yeah, media passes are pretty easy to get, dude.
Oh man, I need to know the ways, Troy. I need to know the ways of how to get my hands on these media passes.
We'll talk.
Black Adam is coming out in theaters next week. The Rock is doing his press runs. I've seen him everywhere that you can possibly put The Rock. I mean, I'm surprised he wasn't on wrestling this week. But he's promoting Black Adam, and it seems like it's picking up steam. A lot of people are getting excited as the days are coming up for the movie to come out.
Yeah, there's rumors of a Superman cameo in there also. That I think a lot of people get excited, and it's a Henry Cavill Superman appearance.
So we got this. What is our thoughts going into this? Do we see The Rock save the day for DC, or is this going to be a dud?
Ah, man, everything The Rock touches, he's like Midas. Everything he touches turns to gold.
Yeah.
So I've got to, and then you've got a great supporting cast too. You got Pierce Brosnan playing Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
It's just gonna, with those two guys alone, I think that should be enough. That it's going to be. I think it's going to do well. I really. And Black Adam is not he's not a hero. He's not a villain. He's one of those anti-heroes that, he does good as long as it's what he wanted to do in the first place. I mean, you saw with Hawkman when he said heroes don't kill people, and Black Adam answered, "Well, I do."
Yeah. No, and I think this could be the setup, because I think we also talked even last week. Shazam could make an appearance as well in Black Adam as well.
Yeah, and I think they're starting to push some of the other characters. If you watch the Shazam movie, there's more than one Shazam. Basically, all of his siblings are part of that also, and they've really been pushing I think it was Mary. So we might see more of the secondary Shazams also.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like, I don't know why, but like this week, and it could be just with this press run that The Rock has been doing, that we are seeing, more, come out. I think there's a certain excitement, and if anyone, like you said, like anything he touched turns to gold. Him promoting and talking about this movie, I think let alone makes you say, yes, I'm gonna go watch it next week. I need to go watch it. And it's right before Halloween too. So
Yeah, that one and the new Wakanda movie.
yeah.
I can't wait to see both of those, and they're both coming out soon.
Yeah, I know you got Wakanda Forever coming out. I believe it's the first week of November. First week of November, which that one's gonna be a good one. So we may see a superhero takeover over the next month. I mean, I give Black Adam being the number one movie for a few weeks leading up to Black Panther. Black Panther then taking over, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, is it what other superhero movie we have coming out at the end of the year? Is it Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I think Ant-Man is. I don't know if it's coming out by the end of the year, but it's coming out soon also.
Yeah, I can't remember if that's January or what day that is, but yeah, we're
I
gonna
want to
get
say
ready.
2023.
Yeah, I can't remember. I gotta look at that, but I think we're getting ready for that moment where we're gonna have the superhero takeover of the box office, where any movie that comes out, it's either if it's DC or Marvel, it's gonna be a number one movie.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I have no issues.
I'm perfectly fine with it. Although I know there are some folks that are like, "Why are these superhero movies?" It's like if you don't know, you're never gonna get it. Just enjoy the ride and go to the movies. That's all I can say.
It's a good time to be a nerd.
Check it out, TikTok. I did see. Did you do the one chip challenge?
I got it. It's sitting on my desk. I've been trying to psych myself up for it because whenever I do that, I'm pretty sure the rest of the day I'm going to be useless. It's going to be bad.
You know, we've done many a challenges here at the station, and for some reason, that seems to be the one that's been scaring me the most. And I
Oh,
don't think we're gonna be doing that anytime soon. I'm just like, we've done the hot sauce. We've even tried our own version of hot ones, doing the whole different sauces. I don't know why, man. And then that chip turning your mouth blue just kind of scares me. And I'm like, I don't know.
well, they turn it blue so you can't fake it. You can't, put in a regular, nacho cheese Dorito in there. They don't want you popping a Cool Ranch and going, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, they'll
no
be
big
like,
deal."
look, it was a Taki. Haha, I'm good. Nope. You'll be able
So
to
yeah,
tell.
that one's coming soon. If I don't go in the hospital from eating it.
Yeah, that I know. And I was like, okay. And then, with Jackie finally, back, I'm just kind of like, I don't think I want to, you know, put her out of work for a few more days after eating this chip. So maybe we'll pause. We might I still gotta buy the chip, but it might just sit on the shelf for a while until we'll
Well,
see one
mine's
of
been
these
sitting
days.
on the
We'll
desk
get
for
ready.
about a week. I got to go get some milk and some bread and
Yeah,
resign myself to have a crappy day that day.
I know. I was like, "Oh, I got way too much stuff to do. I don't think I can stop." I mean, because I don't want to have to go into a meeting and I can't even talk, and I'm
Crying with a
yeah,
blue
no.
tongue and crying.
Imagine me trying to do work here, and then it'd be like, "Hi, you
Oh,
just
okay, okay. Hey, what we going to
thanks for listening. Here's your ticket."
do?
Before we get out of here, what do we got going on at Zia Comics? What's new at the store?
We're getting new inventory in every day. We got a couple of big events. One of them is your guys' Halloween Fest
Yes,
coming up 28th, I believe. Going to
yes,
be
Friday the 28th.
fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Costume contest. There's vendors. There's going to be food trucks. It's going to be Halloween on the plaza, basically. So can't
Yeah,
wait for that.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, you got a candy row. I mean, people are gonna be able to walk down and just, I mean, candy, as much candy as you can possibly enjoy. So you'll be able to get that
Yeah, I
costume
got a 5
contest.
gallon bucket, so we're ready.
Yeah, my wife is even like, "Hey, we need to load up on candy this year so that way we can pass out." I was like, "Where are you passing out candy? Like, did you buy a booth or what's going on here?" I was like, "I'm gonna be on stage with the costume contest."
Yeah, yeah. And then the day after that is the zombie walk, which is another huge event down there.
Yeah,
So
so
the plaza's going to be rocking.
yeah. So, and you guys definitely got to stop by, check out every Wednesday, new comic book Wednesdays. And then just you guys are, I mean, always keeping busy. And then right about now that it's nice and cool and everything going on at the plaza, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is the time of year I get to break out all my little cosplays and wear them and kind of justify the prices I paid for them.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, I mean, that's the best thing to justify. Like, yeah, no, that's why I spent this much for this.
So wear it
So I
once a
catch
year.
it's like, it's the time of the year, okay? It's like I mean, we pay all this for a Christmas tree. Why can't we pay for this? Like,
Oh, good argument. I like that. I'm stealing it.
I've been there before. See, look, you're gonna teach me the way of getting media passes, and I'm teaching you how to get excuses. So we learn things here every Thursday. Guys, you I know there's so many. There's gonna be people right now be like, okay, so he said Christmas tree to do what? Okay,
Write this down.
and then I get the complaint. Joey said, I was like, oh great, don't you blame Joey for any of this.
If Joey jumped off a cliff, would you follow him?
That's usually what happens.
Probably.
Guys, if you want to keep up with Zia Comics, how can they keep up with you on the socials?
All over the interwebs, man. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
That's right. And Big Show, of course, you can follow us. Big Show FM on Instagram, Hot 103's Big Show on Facebook, and me on TikTok, Joey on the FM, where I am now 2 more followers. 2 more. Look at that. I got 2 more followers.
Hey, growth is growth.
Hey man, I mean, doesn't matter how you get to the end as long as you finish the race. I mean, I'm one day I will eventually break 200 people, so we'll see. So I may have to start doing TikTok dances, Troy. Who knows what happens? I'm gonna be Oh,
I don't know any of them.
yeah, bro. I am
I
too
failed the
old to be
litmus
doing.
test, man. I'm way too white.
Yep.
I have no rhythm. Look at that. I'm white.
Yeah, I just gotta fake it from the neck up that I know what I'm doing after that. Oh my god. Guys, this has been another he's breaking out the old school. There we go. Guys, this has been another edition of Zia Comic Weekly. Remember, you can catch us every Thursday right here. And don't forget to drop in those comments and let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Of course, we got so much more to talk about next week with Black Adam hitting theaters, and as well as, some season finales from She-Hulk and other shows that you see on Disney+. So until then, we'll see you guys next week.
Later, nerds.